my name is Laura. I'm here from Party Friends. Welcome to our first ever video tutorial. This one is for balloon modelling. This is a really good place to start if you're a beginner of balloon modelling, you want to be learning some new bits and bobs, or even if you just want to give this a go for a party for your kids or something like that, then this is the perfect place. So here is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing a little balloon dog. So let's get straight to it and get started. Now for this particular balloon dog tutorial you will need one of these, unless of course you have amazing lungs, which fair enough, if you do that's fine, I don't. But you will need a balloon pump, and of course you'll need a balloon if we're going to be making a balloon model. You need a 260 size balloon, or at least that's what I'm working with. You can choose whatever colour you like, I've gone with blue here. Before we get started, give it a bit of a stretch. Make sure it's nice and loose. Now if you have done balloon modelling before and it's gone a bit wrong, it's probably gone wrong because it's exploded. It's popped in your face or something like that. Happens a lot, happens to me a lot as well, it happens to the best of us. The way of avoiding this is basically to not overinflate your balloon. A common mistake made by a lot of people is that you put too much air in your balloon to begin with. You don't need that much air at all for a balloon dog. You only need to blow it up about halfway. So if you have a friend nearby to help you out with this, then very simply you can fold your balloon in half, like that, and then find where the halfway point is. Get your friend to hold on to that so you know where halfway is, and then just blow it up to that point, to where their fingers are. If you don't have a friend to help you, I don't have a friend to help me, I'm on my own, then it's alright. I tend to go off a number of pumps into your balloon. So for a balloon dog, to blow it up about halfway, you need about 5 pumps. So that's what we're going to go with. 5 pumps. Tie it off like that. And this is what your balloon should look like. Doesn't look like a lot of air, I know, but trust me, I've got a long tail at the end here, but as you'll have noticed earlier on with my previous balloon dog, that's where this cute little tail comes from, little dinging tail. So first things first, give your balloon a bit of a squeeze, make sure that it's nice and soft. The last thing you want is for your balloon to overinflate, so give it a nice squeeze before you get started. The best technique for doing some balloon twisting, it's really straightforward. Some of you might have done it before. All you have to do is pinch the balloon where you want your bubble to end, and then twist it. Top tip, always make sure you're twisting in the same direction for each bubble that you create. So for example, if I twist like this, I'm always twisting back towards myself, like that. Now I've created our first bubble there. It's a couple of inches long. The good thing about balloon dogs is that a lot of the bubbles are around about this size. So his nose, his ears, his legs are all a couple of inches long, you know, depending on how specific you are being. I'm not great at measuring things, but yeah, a couple of inches long. So that's his nose there. Now what you can do to make sure that that bubble doesn't come undone, place it between your fingers, doesn't matter which fingers, but I like to use some of the fingers at the end here, little finger or middle finger, whichever one. That way it leaves your thumb and index finger free to do some more twisting as you go further down the balloon, to make sure you've got fingers free to do a pinch, to then do the twisting. And then that bubble won't come undone at the end there. So that's going to be his little nose. We'll go on now to create 2 more bubbles of around about the same size, and these are going to be his ears. So we have 1 bubble there and 2 bubble there. So there we have 3 sausages. Now if you've kept doing your twisting in the same direction, I was always twisting back towards myself, then this seam in the middle won't come undone if you hold it at both ends. If you have ended up twisting in opposite directions, then you may not find that this is staying there if you hold it, and then you'll have to hold lots of things together. But if you have kept twisting in the same direction, top marks for you, because then you've ended up with this effect here where you don't have to hold on to every single bubble. So at this point, These two need to be around about the same size because we're going to fold them together to create his ears. Now, this is a lot simpler than it looks. The basics of it are fairly straightforward, but showing it is a bit of a hoo-ha. So just go with me on this one. So when you have your bubbles there, fold those two together so they're flat against each other. Hold on to the bottom two, to his nose and the rest of the balloon. Hold on to the top with your other hand, whichever way round you want to do, and very simply all you have to do is spin them round into each other. So you're spinning the two seams together, and at this point they'll have knotted together in the middle here at that seam. So at this point, if you line it up sideways like that, you have a little head. So this is his nose and these are his ears. So there we have it, first step done. Okay, give him a bit of a squeeze. Make sure you're sending that air down to that end and you're not using an overinflated balloon. Next, we're going to create a tiny neck. This is what I like to do. You absolutely don't have to do this. I just like to make it look like he isn't holding his shoulders up by his ears. A very tense dog, so I like to give him a little neck. Now for this, all you have to do is create a tiny bubble. Now this one can be a couple of centimetres, maybe slightly larger if you want, but I like to just create a tiny little neck there for him. Again, hold it with your fingers, between your fingers, there. So next we can go on to his legs. As you can see, the air's travelling down to the bottom here. This is why we don't want to have an overinflated balloon, otherwise I may well have popped by now. So we're going to do exactly the same as we did earlier on. We're going to create two bubbles this time of about a couple of inches long. They need to be around about the same size so it doesn't look like he's got wonky legs. So we have one leg there, give it a squeeze, two legs there. Oh, mine don't quite match. There we go, that's better. So now I have two legs there. Now these can be shorter, they can be longer, you know, it's entirely up to you, as long as all four legs are around about the same size. You can have shorter legs and a longer body if you want, then he looks more like a sausage dog. It's entirely up to you. Now we're going to do exactly the same thing as we did with the ears around the head. We're going to twist them together. So hold on to the rest of the balloon at the bottom here with your hand. Take your other hand with these two legs up here and twist them together. Now if you've made sure that your balloon is nice and squishy at this point, then, oh, broken his neck, whoopsie. If you've made sure that your balloon is nice and squishy, then when you're stretching and twisting together, you'll have less likely a chance of it popping, basically. So that's always good, that's what you want. Now I have the rest of his body here. Again, give it a bit of a squish, send that air down there. This is all that I have left to create some legs and a little tail as well. So their body can be as long as you want it to be. You really need to be looking at the rest of this balloon and thinking, I need to be able to fit two legs of this size and a little tail here as well. So I'm going to do his body around about here-ish, because I think that'll give me enough air to do the rest of his body. So pinch and twist, and then pop it between your fingers. So then we have his body and his head and his legs. Give it another squeeze. And then we're going to create another leg of around about the same size as those ones at the front. Give it a squeeze. And then you may find that you're running out of air at the end here, but that's okay, that's what we want. You have a little bit of a tail here. You may end up with a little bubble, and that's it. And that's totally okay. So there we have. I've created two bubbles for his legs and a tiny little tail as well. Again, we're going to do exactly the same as we did before. Hold on to his tail and his body. I've got his two legs, his two back legs in my hand here at the top. All you have to do, twist that seam together. Like that, give it a good twist several times round. Okay, straighten him up. Give him a bit of a wiggle around. There we have it. One tiny little balloon dog. That's it. You can absolutely create a little bit of a face at the front here for your dog and give him some eyes, a nose, a mouth, that sort of thing. You can also cover him in some spots if you want a spotty dog and that sort of thing. But that is it. I'm going to gather all of my balloon dogs together here. Yes, I have created quite a few. So for me and my balloon horde, thank you very much for joining us. We're going to be doing loads more of these sorts of videos. This is our first one. There's going to be loads more. We're going to do more balloon modelling. We're going to do more face painting techniques and that sort of thing, all related to things that you might want to be including in your party or events. Hit like, subscribe, give us some comments as well if you have any questions or would like more information on the techniques I've used today. Just get in touch. It would be great to hear from you all. But from now, from me and my pack of balloon dogs, thank you very much for joining us and I'll see you next time. Thanks guys.